As I said, I wish I could say it was easy. It wasn't, but it wasn't hard either. But without a strong reason or purpose, anything in life is hard. An amazing quote from Robert T. Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Robert T. Kiyosaki is an investor, entrepreneur, author, and also motivational speaker by profession. He has completely changed millions of people's views on money through his writings. Despite having two major setbacks with his business ventures, which led him to bankruptcy, Kiyosaki did not succumb to his downfalls. In fact, started teaching people how not to become poor. Now his fortune estimates a net worth of over $80 million. He has written over 26 books, but is very well known for his masterpiece, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the best personal finance book of all time ever written. Welcome to Digital Dollars. In this video, we will find out some financial lesson from Robert Kiyosaki masterpiece. Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki is a financial classic that has changed the way people think about money and wealth. Published in 1997, this book has sold millions of copies worldwide and continues to influence individuals seeking financial independence and success. Kiyosaki's book is not just about making money. It's a guide to understanding the principles behind wealth accumulation and financial freedom. In this video, we'll explore 10 essential money lessons from Rich Dad, Poor Dad that can have a profound impact on your life and financial future. 1. One must not work for money, instead get money to work for you. Do you see any rich working hard for money? Rich people don't work for money, but money works hard for them. This does not mean rich people do not work hard, but they do it differently than most people do. The author of the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, also points out that job, just over broke, is a short-term solution for a long-term problem or challenge of making wealth. Rich don't work for money. They work for assets. Robert T. Kiyosaki 2. Use your brain to identify opportunities. The author says money has got no power, but your mind does. Feed it with the right information and choose your friends wisely. One must apply their brain to identify the hidden but evident opportunities to become rich. The author starkly stops us to use words like, "I can't afford it," and instead tells us to ask the question to ourselves, "How can I afford it?" Your brain will reply, "Follow Rich Dad's advice, not Poor Dad's." Remember, your mind is your greatest asset, so be careful what you put into it. Robert T. Kiyosaki. 3. Overcome these obstacles. Poor people, because of these roadblocks, don't take the risk and miss their fortune, are stuck in the rat race for 40 years of job, and end up broke. The author explains the following 5 roadblocks to success in his book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Fear. Overcome your fear of losing money, as Mr. Kiyosaki notes that he's never met a rich person who has never lost money. Cynicism. What if? Fear affects your self-confidence. Doubts are cripplers that make you stay poor. Learn to overtake cynicism. Things like markets down, the economy crashing, and COVID-19 are common these days, should not affect us anyway in your road to success. Laziness. According to Rich Dad, busy people are often the laziest. Don't confuse yourself with being busy in the rat race. Bad habits. Habits are your life mirrors that reflect your true nature. Poor people pay themselves last or even don't pay. Paying yourself does not mean you spend money on materialistic things. It means gifting some portion of your hard-earned money to yourself for investment purposes. Arrogance. Biggest mistake people make is when they start believing that what they don't know doesn't matter and become arrogant. Therefore, if you find yourself being ignorant about a subject, find a book or someone expert to teach you. Don't let the fear of losing be greater than the excitement of winning. Robert T. Kiyosaki. 4. Learn to take the risk and learn its management. The riskiest part is when somebody is not willing to take the risk. Poor Dad. Don't take the risk. Rich Dad. Learn to manage the risk. It is said that increasing your subject matter knowledge as risk, always bunk educational classes. Robert T. Kiyosaki. 5. Buy real estate. The author specifically points out real estate as the most stable asset with minimal risk to build a fortune. People are ready to pay for real estate on finance even if they can't afford the property. Also, real estate cannot be lost or stolen. You own a physical asset which is said to be the safest investment in the world. Real estate investing, even on a very small scale, remains a tried and true means of building an individual's cash flow and wealth. Robert T. Kiyosaki. 6. Master these 4 skills. Author from the lessons of his rich dad notes below 4 areas to strengthen if one has to retire financially free. Accounting. Ability to read numbers and understand balance sheets and profit and loss statements. Investing. Science of making money from money, despite working for it very hard. Understanding markets. Knowing the supply and demand of market forces. Understanding law. Know when something gives you a tax advantage, because legal tax loopholes can make you rich early. Poor people earn, get taxed, and then spend and save. In fact, returns on their savings, which is hardly 5%, also taxed. Where rich people earn, spend the money as much as possible, and then get taxed on the rest. Employees pay the highest percentage of taxes. Big business and investors pay the least. Robert T. Kiyosaki. 7. Be bold. Author shares that it is not the smart people who become the rich, but the bold who start and move ahead. Most people never win because they're more afraid of losing. That is why I found school so silly. In school, we learn that mistakes are bad, and we are punished for making them. Yet if you look at the way humans are designed to learn, we learn by making mistakes. We learn to walk by falling down. If we never fell down, we would never walk. Robert T. Kiyosaki. 8. One must not work for money, but work to learn. In the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the author writes that when he and his friend Mike was working free for Mike's father, Rich Dad, they got the best lesson from Rich Dad and identified the opportunity to start their first legal business of comics. When we work to learn, money follows. Education is the foundation of success. Just as scholastic skills are vitally important, so are financial skills and communication skills. Robert T. Kiyosaki. 9. Want to get rich quick? Sharpen selling and communication skills. One must spend time and money sharpening their selling and communication skills to become rich fast. The more effectively you share your message with the world, the more likely people will want to work with you. And improve on your selling skills. After all, everything around you has been sold once. Communication determines the level of your wealth, and selling enhances an individual's success. The ability to sell is the #1 skill in business. If you cannot sell, don't bother thinking about becoming a business owner. Robert T. Kiyosaki. 10. Old school. Just give and take back. When you give smile, you get a smile in return. When you teach and you get life lessons. Same with the money. Give money and get the same back. Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki has had a lasting impact on the way people perceive money and wealth building. So that's all for today's video. We hope finds this video right for you. If yes, lets us know in the comment box so we can make further videos in the series, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you didn't miss any of our recent upload. So we'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care and bye.